Hello everyone. I want to explain to you how I actually take my entries from the supply to demand and how I actually refine my entries to actually get nice orders and take them right. So this is just a video of how I actually take like just a process. Should I say the two-step process or the three-step process that I take to be able to get my entries in a more comfortable way. As you can see, the whole of the day, since yesterday, when price actually rallied to this area, I was actually looking at a price right here. The forex that I'm using is forex.com, not FFXCM because. So I was actually looking at price to go up to some area around this. At the left here is more clearer to actually get my entry so that I'll be able to swing to the downside. But I saw this break of structure and I also saw this area as an area of liquidity being taken because when you check around this area, I have uh, the preliminary supply around this area, the secondary area is the selling climber automatic rally. Then we have the secondary test, the spring, then the upthrust. Then we have the sign of strength, and you can see our last point of supply being around this area that I was looking at. So price hasn't reached at my last point of supply. We just have the sign of strength as price came and popped up to the upside, but we haven't actually gotten our extreme being tapped yet. So that is what I'm waiting for. So as to whether price will come back to this area or price will tap this area and then explode. So, but I wanted price to actually go up, reaching this area here. I can see as liquidity came and pierced through when tapping into this particular demand area and more above just a little bit. I think this one wasn't tapped well the last time price moved. So this area has a very nice supply. You can see from here we have a clear break of structure around this area from supply to demand flip demand to supply flip. And when we take our two right here, when you see price didn't tap this particular zone, that is this one right here. So price quickly came back on forex.com to see it came and tapped on it and it quickly is running down. But I didn't realize that actually because I was more emphasized on taking my entries as they come on the fresh zones instead of the old zone that we've been taking. So you can see from here, prices came a little bit tapped it, but came back down. So right now it has created liquidity on this top area that we now have to look at. So with that, I then refined my entries, and after seeing that price wasn't going to tap prices, where I deleted my orders and I focused on getting entries for the day instead of just actually, you know, chasing trades and waiting because I'm not a patient type who can actually wait. Yes, you have to apply patience, but sometimes it's not easy to sit down and wait for a trade to come. So after waiting for the trade, you can see around this area, I had my area I wanted price to come and tap. This area was the area that actually broke structure from here. You can see there's the area that broke structure. You see, we have from the apart from the area here, we have this area coming down. Then our last point of supply. So price has mitigated upon this area. So what we now have to look for is to see how price moves. So right now it has created and then price does usually is that price taps on demand or supply areas to create liquidity. So let's say you have price like this. When price comes, if this was an overall downtrend, instead of price continuing to the downside, price just comes and tap on this mitigates, and then you can see right now we have created a diagonal liquidity zone for you to be waiting for price to come and tap into areas like to break through to take liquidity around those areas, then move back up once again. So price does that to create more liquidity below the zones and also above to also make you be sure that price would come back there in a short term after tapping into the areas. So now, after I saw this coming, I actually waited for price. So when price immediately tapped into it, as I'm a lower time frame trader, I waited for price. I wanted price to actually come here. I wanted to take this particular trade, but when it came, I didn't see any confirmation on the 5 minute time frame. As you can see, Price didn't give me any confirmation as to enter or not to enter the trade. So after price broke this particular area, I was like, okay, fine. Now we have our change of character, which is from here. I didn't actually write that. So our change of character, which is here, and also this area. You can see from here we have our liquidity taken from here. When you look at it, we have liquidity taken. You can see now this is the lower time frame string, the second time frame. So I waited and then I said, okay, fine, I can take my trades from this particular zone right here because this zone was broken. It was broken like came back and tapped into the a supply zone on the lower time frame here. So I took this zone to be the area where I can be able to refine and take my entries. So you can see I even took a trade around inside the zone, but I didn't take this one, but waited. So you can see we have choke and change of character. I have it right there. You can see we have one here. So I actually did that so that I'll be able to um, take my entry. So after I saw this one, I then said I'll take this. I make sure my trade was below this particular wick right here because when you look at it, we have some liquidity line down below here. It doesn't actually take in price. So my stop loss was just little bit low, you know. And so as I waited for price, so you can see when price came, it didn't actually it tapped, but nearly took out that first order block. So I was taken out with -1 because as I had this choke as well, I lost it. But after that, I had this and then I had this one, and I was able to take this particular trade. And so when price came down and so this actually broke structure. So that was where I took my entry, and then waited for price came here. So when price actually came here, I was not looking at my chart, so I didn't take any trader. And this one too as well, I took an entry but deleted it later on because the way price was moving, I didn't want to be having three losses in a row, one, two, three. So I just quickly deleted it and left this one run. So, but this one ran and then came in. I was already waiting for this area. So, when price came and tapped into my overall zone once again, the second time. So, this was the first one. Then I had the second time. You can see how it rejected so strongly, came back down, created the change of character. So, after creating this, I was like, okay, fine. Now we have a very nice, a very nice change of character right here. That is the Koshimundo, pattern. On the lower time frame, you see we have a break of structure right there, and we have a low, a high, then a break of structure right there. That is a change of character, then another change of character right there. So after having that, I was like, you find now I can take this as my order block and then waited for price. So when price came, I didn't waste any time. I just quickly took my order, and then it is currently in this. So when price right here too, I want to take a trade, but I was kind of like skeptical as to whether this is considered a weak low because it has taken liquidity from here. This whole place is just liquidity. So as that's taking liquidity, after taking this liquidity, and this place has been broken. So I was like, okay, but because we have this as our high, and this being our main high, and this our low. So I was like, fine, then price might have just come back and tap into this. As you can see, when price came around that area, you can see how it's actually made this particular struggle. So I didn't take any trade from here because I was very afraid price would never reverse. But I do take I do hedge like this. I am hedging this and I'm hedging this particular one. Both are running without any TPs because I am waiting. If price does takes this out, I know I'm going to the downside. And if price goes up, this is already locked in profit. This is locked in a little bit of profit so that I'm not being caught up in whatsoever. I don't take more losses because I've already taken one, though I'll be able to recover by holding this, and that's it, my TP right here. So now, what I'm now waiting for, this one I had 2 pips stop loss, right? Okay, for it was, I think I took 2 pips because I just adjusted it. I didn't take, although I took 2 pips in the middle of the pair because how I took it so quick when prices came back faster on this particular candle, this down candle, I took it so fast, and then that was it. This one was 2.8, but this one is exactly 2 pips. So I took this trade exactly 1% loss, and it is currently running. So right now I am actually now looking at. I how this is going to play out. So I just wanted to record this video showing you how I actually take my supply to demand flips. You can see we have our demand right here, then the flip, it came back taking this order. You can see how it is currently running, and let's see how where price will end. One of the difficult part about this smart money concept trading, like the banks, going to lower time frame refining, not wanting to swing as a day trader, is because you will have your entry points very neatly, but your targets tend to be very difficult to. So it's better you just, as we are not market makers, you just take the right decision and can take here and take the head, both in profits, still running. Can decide to close one and or decide to close both, but regret later. It doesn't really matter. All you want to do is be profitable at the end of the day, and that is actually what we all are waiting for. So thank you for watching this video, and do not forget to check out my YouTube channel. So I'll be posting this on my YouTube channel as well, and also my Telegram group, and also anybody who wants to watch this. So thank you guys all for watching, and see you in my next video.